Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Winter Classic 2 here at RGN. We got Nexus Esports taking on Tectonic. It was a long, drawn-out mirage, but it came to a close, and Tectonic did come out with the W. So, they are now one map away from closing this out 2-0, but we are entering Nexus's map choice, and we know how crazy the op of Odaris is at this point. So, taking all into consideration, excited to see how this goes. Holy nades, Batman. Blaze, are you seeing this?
Wow.
I feel like
all right,
Steno,
10 flashes.
And they all got it when it was supposed to be for one of them.
Right? It's like, all right, somebody buy flashes. Everybody gets it immediately. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is part of the intended strategy, but now some of them are on the ground. Is Tectonic going to go towards long here? Gola's up, but this guy's been deadly on pistols.
Yeah, this is not the person you want to take a fight against, and he takes down another. David with one, and he will retreat into the smoke and potentially to safety. They're going to grab the bomb and head on out here, back towards middle. So nice start here from Nexus as, again, Gola just nuts.
Yeah, he's been so consistent on these pistols. Red start on to Aladdin, and there's still a ton of time. So this is going to force Nexus. Ooh, I love this play by Odaris. Since those two players were spotted out mid, generally in these 3-on-2s, you don't want to push. But since both of their locations were called, Odaris can feel pretty safe about pushing up towards B here. But he leaves middle completely open. I suppose he can spot the cross. Really interesting how this round has developed.
Indeed. 25 seconds remaining as they head back towards middle. So, yeah, they're just going to have to head up catwalk at this point. To be fair, though, David on CT ramp, he's not going to be able to help out at all. So Rafik's going to be playing a bait, or basically a passive angle. That Molotov, I don't think it's going to reach him, and now he basically just has to stop the bomb plant as he takes the fight with Imsta, but he can't win it. Odaris to clutch.
This is huge. Both players really low, but Odaris is going to be headhunting. Does he know how low they are? And he gets instantly headshotted by Imsta. Peeks wide. What a steal from Tectonic.
Yeah, that is definitely... They robbed them blind. Call the cops, Laser.
Call the cops.
Ridiculous.
Shoutouts to J.R. Ross for any WWF fans.
That's great. Yeah, just rerouting back to catwalk in the very end scenario, and... You can't really highlight the Seraphic enough in that spot. Playing towards Goose, and he basically just needs to delay that plant a little bit further, albeit the planter was in a smoke, but he wins that first 1v1 and should have been the round. But, could be the case. So, anti-eco, or actually a force buy here from Nexus.
I like this mid-collapse out of Nexus, though. They haven't gotten any frags yet. Alright, David will snag one, but they don't follow it up. So they just want to fall back with these pistols. I guess David can take a fight elsewhere, but I like a full commitment because now David's alone. He's fighting for some economic damage. Gets spotted out by Imsta. So that should be a wrap for this round. Drone finishes him off. 2-0 here for Tectonic. And I got to go back to that pistol round for a second. It was 2-on-3. David was in CT spawn. They had Seraphic on top of A, and then Odaris inside of B tunnels, kind of watching B. David can spot for CT, and he could spot middle. There's like really no reason that you have to leave Seraphic all alone in that position, but it is going to come back to haunt them, and 2-0.
So Aladdin playing close towards the doors. Gola late cross towards B. And see where they decide to work here. As they will pop flash out middle. It's a little worrisome. That's definitely one of the potent angles to work with a pistol close range, of course. But again, flash provided. It's going to allow that middle presence towards CT spawn in B. We will have David attempting to flank. Actually, Odaris is going to run through a CT smoke as well, but eventually left up to only Seraphic to do some more damage.
Seraphic, no dice. His drone gets that one. But now comes the op of Odaris. That sounds so legendary for some reason. Odaris just has that, like, mystical sense about it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And, well, when we get to yell his name in an awesome clutch, definitely, it fits the bill. No doubt. There's some names that you're just like, there's no matter how hyped the round is, the name just kind of ruins it. But anyhow,
right.
Nonetheless,
not going to call anybody out for lack of creativity or taste, but
exactly.
You're out there. And thanks, by the way.
You know who you are.
Bro, this name's going to be so clever when they say it.
Odaris. Posted up on the catwalk. Aggressive angle here in middle.
Oh, and there it begins. Odaris not missing. As Red Start, the victim at the beginning of the round. And a lot of these shots that he's hitting, it's not like they're just walking into his crosshair. These are mean flicks. Sometimes the only... Oh, and just as I say that, he's too quick for his own good. Zach hits him with the slow shimmy.
Yep, and he falls victim to it. Luckily, Gola chimes in, takes down 2. David at long A, doing the bait switch with Seraphic, and now it's only Steno. Drops David, but with 25 hit points remaining, looking a little bleak. He does have the bomb in middle. Oh, that nade. What a money nade from Gola.
Goal.
Yeah, wow, that worked out well.
3-1 for Tectonic. And looking at the economy, it's almost as if Tectonic's better off save one player. But they have to figure out where Odaris is playing and avoid this guy. He has been the problem. Sure, Gola got more kills in the previous game, but the impact that the op has had from Odaris, unquestionable. He's changed so many of these rounds' outcomes. Oh, if I'm Tectonic, even though I'm sure they're not scared of this guy, there's no reason to take the fight onto the guy who's extremely hot. Just avoid him. And they may go for a mid to B here as a result, and the B players are Gola and Aladdin. So they've split their big hitters up here for the Nexus side.
Indeed they have, and we'll see where Tectonic decides to take. Aladdin taking down Red Start. Aggressive push up into B tunnels. Now, that's one, if you're a lurk player that's just hanging around, that you really do not want to let the CTs grab a hold of that. But sometimes it happens. Now fighting from the disadvantage. We will fake like they're working cat, but I think we're going to see a pivot back towards mid to B here.
Gola, this timing. Sick. Almost gets the second one, but Imsta is there for the trade. Do you want to go out middle? Odaris is waiting there. Smoke for the catwalk. Wow. Oh, Odaris almost hits the flick. Yeah, that was brilliant. But Seraphic, he's been in this position before. It wasn't good last time. This time, not going to miss his mark. And Imsta, again, 1 on X.
Yeah, to be fair, they didn't check it that time. That was a little bizarre. Seraphic basically got those for free. It's only Imsta. Going to be heading up a catwalk. Let's go with 1 pre-fire bullet. And of course, this location more than known at this point. Seraphic trying to just bait out a little bit here towards a ramp. He's only got 15 seconds to make something work. David towards long. We'll find a shot. And Nexus now on 2.
2 rounds. And at this pace, I am worried for my money, Chad. David's already at 4 frags.
Not looking good for you.
Again, the wager is, I bet $5 at 100 to 1 odds that David will not reach 25 frags. And I stand by that.
Yeah, well, we hit double OT in the last map, and he was at 19. So, we'll see how it goes. But, to be fair, much better start for him here and now. See if he can continue. So, Durst towards long. This is an eco. I'm going to try and capitalize on these players on long A, but it's not going to come to fruition in the slightest. So, it's going to be a flawless round for Nexus. Keep a 5 alive. Let's that economy start to bolster.
Tectonic just hit a mid to B. Avoid this guy. All the impact rounds, the critical rounds, Odaris is just there. And opening up the round for him. Man, this op is intense from Odaris. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this guy. Pretty much across the board. I've only seen him miss a couple of key shots. And definitely can count him on one hand. And now he's remaining unpredictable. He finds himself on catwalk. Doesn't want to peek his head up. Imsta is below in the tunnel. It's interesting. Nade being deployed there from Imsta. But 2 on catwalk. Only David alone at long. Problem from Tectonic is, yeah, David's at long, but they don't know where Odaris is.
Yeah, he's definitely the one to watch out for here. David, we'll see what he can come up with the defense in pit, as it's going to be Nada. Zek from the rail. Feels the damage. Not a let dealt to him either. And David trying to Just try and avoid those flashes if at all possible. But this is an interesting way of taking long. You can see they do a wall of smokes. It allows them to isolate pit. They take it, and then they move off of it. Well, I guess the bomb's there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. You get control of long, fall off, get control of catwalk, then it really limits your options inside of the A-bomb site. Drone. No respect. Odaris silenced for the time being. And now Red Star drops onto the CT spawn. Takes out Gola. Aladdin finds himself a rifle, but now he'll find himself versus 4.
Yeah, he had the rifle at the get-go. He just threw it to try and pick up an AK that he re-picked up the same gun. So, having a bad time right now. Would love to pick up that AK-47. That's just in that crevice near the door. Drone peeks out for a second. Aladdin just holding that angle ever so patiently, but Drone will tear his head off. Violent Drone coming in on Dust 2 here. Hat-trick on the round, and really nice shots as well.
Now, I mean, I almost think it'd be worth the $500 if, like, David got 25 and beat Drone. That would be just an absolute travesty in the most beautiful way.
Yeah, good buddies with Drone as well. And even, to be fair, Drone and David are good buddies. So, again, even just there in itself lies a storyline. David
I think Drone might retire if he loses.
Right, if he loses to David. Oh, we'll see. David playing on catwalk.
The double!
That was ridiculous. Odaris, 1 shot, 2 kills, follows it up on a red start as well. Odaris is something else.
What does it take to stop this guy? And he's not going to miss on the Drone. The 4K from Odaris. Who is this guy?
Right? The man, the myth, the legend. You got Odaris just hitting shots.
I mean, he's on my team. I've never even played with the guy.
Well, see if we can continue here. That was the difference maker in my eyes. If Nexus was going to take Dust 2, it was not necessarily going to be on the back of Odaris, but he was going to have to go really hard with that op, and, well, he's fitting the role at the moment.
Yeah, and Gola, of course, keeping up as well. Gola's kills not nearly as flashy, but I wouldn't say, I gotta say, or as impactful, because, like, the way Odaris shows up, yeah, Gola's consistent, but Odaris is, when he hits the op shots, they're always followed by more. And now Tectonic, I wish they would have went for this on a gun round instead. But they're going to go for the mid to B here. Gola as well as Aladdin inside of the site. Seraphic as well somehow collects one onto Imsta. Zek trying to bust on through, finds a timing and red start.
How did he... What?
What? He buckled his ankles trying to drop down, it looked like.
Oh boy. Yep, not a fun feeling. As ankles kind of need those. Tectonic on 4 still. Yeah, I'd like to see that middle to be like you had highlighted on an actual gun round. As you can see, it is a fairly potent strategy for the CT side setup. As in, it would be a good counter for it, that is. Odaris back towards long. He was playing up the long A doors last round and going to continue it here. He had any action, so doesn't make a big difference that he stays there. Of course, wants to be as mysterious and elusive as possible, and actually does rotate off of the angle as they don't get any action early.
Are they going to do the mid to B? They have a player outside of long. They're lurking one back in towards B. Red Star missed his mark before. Not this time. Aladdin tries to go through the smoke. And now comes the mid to B. Zek coming out. Where is this op of Odaris? He's looking mid. And there's no smoke up. That's Zek, the victim. Or was there a smoke up? He must have peeked before the smoke.
Yeah, I didn't catch it, but I would hope so. For, well, yeah.
For Vac's sake.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Odaris now up on the boxes in CT spawn. Golo still in B, but dropped. And now Imsta's going to have a heyday here. 2 of them coming out through CT spawn. He lets Drone die, but good kind of baiting. Able to take down 2 in the end.
Yep, there's good bait and bad bait. That was good bait. By... Who was it there? Steno in the end? Or was it Imsta? My memory is now reduced to less than 5 seconds. Oh, Jared's.
Hi, my name's Tom. And then you forget it like the next... What was that movie? It's like 50 First Dates. Fantastic movie, by the way.
Oh, yeah, Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler.
Right? Are you proud of me, Laser? I just made a movie reference.
You know, I'm quite proud.
2016, looking bright, ladies and gentlemen. It's 5-all at the moment. Double up here. Imsta and Zek picking it up.
So, Odaris getting boosted on top of the catwalk. Somebody's just about to peek tunnels, but Odaris finds Steno peeking mid, just as the player was about to peek under as well, but Imsta will trade off onto David over towards B, so Nexus really shifting their setups here.
And David going down at B. He went down to an op, so getting a little bit
That's
peeky there.
huge.
Zek onto Odaris, and yeah, that is massive. Definitely the player you want to take out of the fray. So, gonna be a 3-on-3, and very split up here. Zek hitting heads, quite literally. Aladdin falls. Now it's Seraphic and Gola. Gola has been a pretty massive player. Seraphic, similar situation, but he is still just hunkered down at B. He's not going nowhere.
Has Zek snatched the magic away from Odaris? He just pushed right through the smoke. And Odaris caught off guard for one of the first times that I've seen thus far. And Seraphic and Gola just going to save these rifles, bring them into the next. I'll have 2 rounds lost bonus, so they'll only have to save 1. Where do they bring these 2 rifles? Do they put them together? Do they play at 1-1? And this should be... this will be a round where Tectonic can try to grow that economy as well. And minimize the amount of frags that they'll give up. But I'm not sure if they should be chasing here. They definitely should not be chasing here.
Yeah, Red Star getting a little ahead of himself there. And he does fall victim to the CTs. You can see how Dur's just calling out Seg. He's like, you have stones, no doubt. That is a ridiculous push there. But again, showing
Can we not say balls?
I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to mix in another word there. I'm just trying to be creative here, Laser.
My favorite recently is a brass set.
A brass set. That sounds pretty old-fashioned in that term, but I like it.
I'm trying to recycle here.
It's good. It's round 12 underway. And again, we have those 2 rifles on the field. They're going to play them at either bomb site.
So, Gola. He might be pushing through long here. We do have somebody posted up for it. That'll be Drone. This would be a pretty big fight, but it doesn't seem like Gola is going to push any further. Mid control now for Tectonic. B stack from Nexus. All the players without rifles? Yes, so they played the rifles 1-1. I just think I'd prefer them to play together with these rifles, because if these rifles fail, well then the pistols have no chance at a retake.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. David gonna pop a flash towards connector, or sorry, catwalk. Sees a ton of people. Hurts his knees a little bit as he drops into CT spawn. They're gonna be taking onto the bomb site. Gola with his AK spots out Steno. Can't drop him though. Up to 22 hit points, but not the frag he was looking for. Seraphic still with his M4. They're trying to chase down Drone here, but Aladdin does capitalize, so that'll be a second weapon, and I got a feeling probably just going to hang on to these.
Yeah, Nexus buying up again. These 3 rounds lost bonus, couple players just at 1,000. They're going to be tempted to buy here. And considering they just 4-spot, it wouldn't surprise me if they do. And Tectonic on the hunt. I still don't think they have enough money to go for this, but they do it nonetheless. This time, much more successful. And Nexus, yeah, 3,700 on 2. They might, but oof. You can argue. This is one of those situations you can argue either way.
Yeah, it'd be rocky. To be fair, if they are going to buy here, David, there was quite a big investment in the last round for the people that didn't have rifles. So if they were going to buy in this round, they're not. So it's probably could be the correct decision, like you're highlighting. Could go either way, but kind of like this one a little bit better. If they were going to buy this one, I'd like to see just default pistols maybe in the last. Give them a better shot, considering David's monetary situation. Steno thinks it's a good idea to push a smoke solo through middle. All right. Doesn't go his way.
This is why you go slow.
Indeed, that is why you go slow. And we actually highlighted early in the best of 3 that Steno is one of those slow in-game leaders. So for him to just do that, that was weird. Seraphic on Imsta as well. This is looking good for Nexus.
You never really know what kind of mindset Steno is in, if you know what I mean. As Drone just lurking along, waiting for his opportunity to try to find Odaris, but he has been so consistent. And just as I say that, he doesn't hit the cross shot, but now he is supplemented by Aladdin. So when Drone peeks into T-spawn, that should be all she wrote. And missing another one. Odaris showing signs of fatigue.
See, like
perhaps?
nades like that. Where Drone, I promise you, was just caught in awe that Molotov just went inside of a door that has literally posts in the door. How? What?
What door do you speak of?
In the suicide lane? Because he knew Odaris was behind the box. So he goes to bank it off the wall, and it just goes into the doorway. And that door goes nowhere, obviously, other than to another door. Yeah, oh man.
Have you been in there?
I haven't, no, and I don't want to go. It looks terrifying.
It doesn't seem nice. You don't come out of that door.
No.
Unless you got no clip, of course, but
yeah.
Anyways, Tectonic. Spread out approach, and that last round was a big mistake by them. Maybe signs of disrespect towards the Nexus guys, but they should have known that there's a high chance of an eco there. And so, cautious would have been the better approach. Still at the lead. And looking for more. As 4-on-4, Tectonic just about to make their way up catwalk. Red Start joining the party in a moment. Now he's going to go towards long to meet Seraphic, but big take underway. Nexus would need a hold out here out of Odaris.
We'll hit that first shot. David taking... Nope, Imsta still alive, but Odaris finishes it off. So in the end, all is well. 7-all. As looking like a pretty close first half here on Nexus's map choice.
So, Tectonic moving on to the CT side. Odaris' op has been far more deadly on the CT side than it has on the T side. So, Nexus getting 8 or 7, I'm not sure that's enough.
I don't know either, but I'm going to find out. Plenty of Tech 9s. Aladdin getting a decent shot onto Zek. Start things off. And where does Tectonic decide to go? They actually... Okay, they lost the bomb... Was it on Zek and it flew forward into Suicide? Already a very bizarre start to this round. It's Tectonic, they got Imsta up at Cat. David's going to be a long player here, and we're going to try and rain some smokes and flashes over, see if they can take.
And Drone with the pop flash. Player at blue, but they have no idea David's working on the other side. Takes him a bit, but he gets the job done eventually. And last player gonna be Imsta trying to do the ninja drop. Seraphic kills him midair and delivers his body on top of the elevator. So 8-7. Nexus taking the lead, but again, the op has been deadly on the CT side for Odaris. Not to say it won't have an impact on the T side, but I think Nexus needed about 10.
And so let's see how this continues on. I want to let you guys know once again the Twitter giveaway we got going, courtesy of Jeremy 9000. It is a Desert Eagle Golden Koi, factory new stat track. If you guys want to get in on that giveaway, just head on over to Twitter. You'll see on the Go RGN TV page. Just drop us a follow, retweet that specific tweet, as well as follow at spy_Jeremy9000. All the information is going to be there, front and center on the Go RGN TV Twitter page. So head on over, get entered. And again, the winner will be announced on the 14th. Good luck, have fun. May the best Twitter user win. I don't know where I was going with that. I was trying to close those segments with something, but it really doesn't work out, Laser.
Never does. my favorite moments is when you're trying to like close out a broadcast. So get out of there, Chad.
Yeah, the best of times. The best of times. I just like to be creative with it. All right. I could just give you guys the don't forget guys like spade new to your pets or something like that. Like pull the whole Price is Right. Have like one closer all the time. But I'd like to be a little more creative than that, Laser.
Is Bob Barker still alive?
I think so. I feel really bad if he's not now. I know that didn't they pass the reins over of that show to like Drew Carey or something?
Yeah, this show's dead. It died with Bob Barker.
Right? There's no doubt. Yeah. Anyhow.
8-7. We're back. 8-7. Nexus. I think if they lose pistol round, they lose this match. Who knows? Maybe Odaris and Gola will continue to reign supreme. And for Tectonic, they just have to avoid Gola, and it's no surprise that Nexus is giving him that raid boss, because Gola, every pistol round so far, has had a huge impact.
Oh, he's been an absolute monster, no doubt. So we'll see. Odaris and Gola gonna be those point men. And we can see David already heading through underpass. Ooh, we're gonna see a push through upper tunnels though, and so it's gonna be interesting. So David works middle. They will escape the flank that was coming from the tunnels, and then they just decide to push out middle. Zek with the first frag. Drone's going to follow it up on a Gola, and this is falling apart. Here comes the quick flank as Imsta just heads through that smoke in middle. Only Seraphic, as he will drop Steno, but 2-on-1.
Trying to take the 1-on-1. Ooh, just 2 HP remaining on Imsta, but now they could just hold the bomb together, hold the up-down angle. But Seraphic, oh, was that short? Do they still have eyes on it? I think they do in Seraphic. Botches the nade. Unfortunately, the bomb, you can grab guns with your arms, but you can't grab the bomb. So he's going to have to do it with his feet. Not going to happen.
just dives in there. There's no other way to go about it, really. Well, I guess there was, but decides to pop a flash, moving backwards, and takes one to the back of the head. So it's going to be pissed around going the way of Tectonic. Very bizarre round, though, and to be fair, I wonder how that plays out if it's a standard CT setup. Because Tectonic, that was far from standard. Just aggressive B tunnels play. It turned into a quick flank.
Yeah, I really have no idea. I like the strat from Nexus. It was unbeknownst to me whether they're going to go catwalk or down to middle until everybody jumped down from the catwalk. But was that the initial plan, just to send David out mid and then work up catwalk immediately thereafter, trying to get the player on catwalk to drop? Or was that an audible made by recognition of the pushes coming through, or any sort of info gained from the Tectonic players peeking? Nexus storming their way up the catwalk. The flashes look good from Tectonic. Gola will find a headshot, so will Seraphic. Nexus is in this.
Zek needs to deal with this player on long A, but he's fully widescreened as Imsta now just flicking around like mad. Attempts to find someone, but gets nothing out of it. Only red start and 1v3. Bleak spot. Does not have a kit, and Gola immediate 1D peeking up from that sight box, and yeah, just furthering his pistol performance. Can't take fist around. One thereafter, do just fine.
And Gola's been hot with these pistols. Mainly on pistol round, but 4 spies as well. Now Tectonic, do they fight for it? I'm just going to go with upgraded pistols. I have not been impressed by the strategies employed by Tectonic on these eco rounds, and they're going to play one guy long.
Yeah, it's going to be drone at long aim. Just shrouded in the smoke. It's literally inside of it. Zek and Steno playing a bit of a crossfire on it. Oh boy, I missed that, but it's probably for good reason as David goes down.
It was hilarious.
People pushing through upper dark. Steno's going to take down Arduris, and this is not a force buy from the CT side, but they might be able to close this up.
Yeah, both players going down, really missing their marks. Not difficult frags to collect, and Steno, there he is again! Wow!
3 quad kill, but yeah, all with the USPS. That was insane, and that's the angle that you can only see their head, so good work from him. Nice marksmanship, and that'll be able to clean up the round, and that's got to be so demoralizing from Nexus. You're getting killed with the USPS. You know that they didn't force buy.
Yeah, I mean, the USPS says it all.
Yeah, right? Like,
I mean,
he maybe had armor USPS. No, he didn't.
I might say it quietly, but now Nexus through the fire. No, changes his mind. Odaris leading the charge. What a guy! And now the take is staggered. In the moment a B take gets staggered with a Molotov, that's a wrap. You go through it or you fall back. One or the other. Do it as a team.
Man, this match. There's been a lot of craziness. There is no doubt about that. To be fair, a lot of the times we'll see craziness when it's just, there's only craziness. We're getting mixtures of, like, insane plays and then just, like, the crazy situation that should never happen. Just the mixture of the two makes for a very interesting map, to be fair, but very bizarre as well. As you'll see one player just come out of nowhere and have a highlight reel. Odaris, nice op shot onto Imsta, similar to what I'm talking about, but see if Nexus can connect here, and they actually do find their way into B.
Risky play by Aladdin, but it really works out. Steno will find a frag elsewhere. That's Gola down. Does Tectonic attempt this? They do have enough to go for a buy afterwards if they do lose, but trying to retake into B like this is difficult, especially because the flank is on his way from Seraphic, but he's whipping all of his shots. Alright, gets it eventually. But that took some time.
Yeah, if he goes down there without taking down those two, player disadvantage, instead finishes off the frag, and Zek pushes in and goes down. So double digits on both sides. We got the Definitely a slugfest going back and forth here, and what better map than Dust 2 for it?
Right. I didn't give my team much of a chance this match. I thought it was just going to be an epic fun cast, but we actually have a match on our hands here. This Tectonic struggling against main Nexus. So,
what
Zek,
just happened? Sorry, I just need to highlight. Zek took one shot. I think he legged Aladdin and also hit Odurus in the same shot, but got hit through the door. Sorry, that was just very weird, and eventually they will lose that player.
I know Darius will eventually get that revenge onto Zek. Yeah, I missed it. The mid takes can get a little wonky, or the mid shots can get a little wonky from the CT side perspective, but Nexus disadvantage. And they're really spread out. They need Odurus to hit a pick here.
Indeed, as he's a little lit up as well. He took a shot through the Legend T spawn. We'll float back over to middle. So it's David and Seraphic in tunnels right now. Odurus just begging for someone to peek middle. Really wants to create a 3-on-3 before they decide to commit anywhere. In theory, as we can see, the luxury of radar, it is the B-bomb site that would be the better site to hit, but it's knowledge just for us. Odurus.
Is he going to jump into spawn?
Oh god, Odurus. Oh, counter flash. Okay, I thought he actually flashed himself there, but that was, I believe, a counter flash from the CT side that prevented him from doing that. Or he just didn't want to do it. One of the two, but he was fully widescreen. Imsta makes it back into B. Seraphic is there. He really wants to take the fight. Insta-dink from Imsta. David able to take down Red Star inside of the smoke. 2-on-2.
Really nice by David, finding him inside of the smoke. I thought for sure David was done in that spot. And Seraphic, just 10 HP. They have to play off of each other here. Steno and Drone. We have flashes in the hands of Drone. He's got to do it while Steno is taking out from the tunnels. Let's check the timing. Here comes the flash. And the peek by Steno. Actually, Steno ends up getting blinded. And now the crossfire. David onto Drone. And my money is not safe, Chad.
Right? He's moving up there. He's at 10 frags. To be fair, he still has 15 to go. So, but he's on his way. 11 rounds here for Nexus. And Tectonic going to be on the save yet again. And we'll see what they decide to do with it, considering the last time we saw an eco. Steno, I wish he would have stayed with that USPS. I wanted to see more headshots from him. To be fair, P250 is probably going to give him a better time if he does find said headshots. Quick long aggression from either side is going to come head-to-head, and, well, the rifles come out on top.
David trying to hold on to this B push. He's probably going to go down in just a second here. There it is. Finished off by a red start. Tagged up a lot by Imsta. Now there's one more gun to collect and would do big things for their economy. They don't need these weapons, but any weapons that they pick up at this point will just result in more utility in the next round. And Red Star, wow, he wanted nobody to survive from the Nexus side. And it would be big. It's not mandatory here that Imsta keeps this. I wouldn't mind him going for some weapons, trying to strip them away from the Nexus side, just taking a look at their money. But I suppose more utility if Imsta can hang on to this, which looks like it will be the case.
Indeed. Aladdin going to be posted up still. Long aim. And Imsta lets go of a bullet, so his position is known. Gola should be able to flank him here. And indeed, it does come in, so Imsta not able to secure that. And that's kind of the downside of playing a spot like that, is kind of hoping that if they do show up that you get the frags, but if they play it correctly, if they find you, again, you let go of a couple bullets, it could have been even better, like you had suggested, to actually just go for those rifles in the first place.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to predict, because if you're the final CT there, you really expect somebody to flank all the way around the world. Yeah, it can happen sometimes, but more often than not, it does not. And Nexus moving up to 12. Another round for Tectonic. They don't have a lot of utility here. They're going to double stack on the catwalk. They got to make up for this weapon and utility disadvantage somehow. And there's a start from Red Start. And I think he was peeking out, just barely peeked out from the middle. And now with this advantage, Tectonic, are they going to sit on it or are they going to keep peeking? Red Start thinking about it. He has his teammate with him at mid, being Zek. And I don't think Nexus is going to expect it unless Zek peeks.
Well, he does peek out. Doesn't get a lot of damage dealt to himself. Let's see. Drone still positioned up on Cat. Red Star goes down to a grenade. Drone up on Greenbox on Catwalk, though. Deals with Aladdin. They get out of there safely. So advantage here to the CT side. Zek's still in middle, and he catches out Seraphic as well. Big play from him.
Yeah, the trickery. Unexpected for Zek to move his way up there. Last two players, Gola and David, taking into this B site. Stuffed by Tectonic and surviving with 4. This next round is massive. Especially for the Nexus side, because it's always been Tectonic playing catch-up.
Yeah, 1 round behind here, and there's 8k on Arduris. Interesting. I was curious if they were going to go for the Force, as, again, Tectonic, they're very low in the form of economy, but they are just going to save here, buying the next. Got 2 Deagles on the field, Gola and Odaris. P250s on the rest. The bomb's on Aladdin's back, and might find out that Zek is playing in middle here. Just waiting for someone to peek in lower dark. Actually, there's 2 CTs up on the catwalk as well. That was a terrifying sight. If you come out of upper, or through upper dark into lower. But the bomb is there yet again. Well, the T's out long A haven't spotted a soul.
Spotting long here from the CT side. There was a window just for a moment, while that has been slammed shut as all of Tectonic, save 1 man over towards the B side, is now pushing up towards long. Goal in the back, Deadly with the pistol. It's going to be David with the QB sneak. And if he 1v5s, I'm not even going to make an offer.
Yeah, Imsta's going to take him down. He got a move on, may have been able to get it, but to be fair, there was kind of spotting that cross on the doors anyhow. So, like the attempt, but 12-12. Now the buy comes in. See Odaris back with that op in his hands. They've got pretty good utility to work with as well.
Odaris, this is it. This is the time to step up. Tectonic building up a slight bank. Good nade cross from Tectonic. And are we going to see an NOA? NOA is really fallen out of fashion given that it's so effective that so many teams use it that it's now kind of shunned away from the meta because it's so predictable. But busting it out this late may have caught Nexus off guard, but they're going to fall off of it. Nexus going for late mid control as they have gotten a player inside of the pit. That's David. If David dies here, this changes the round dramatically. He does take some damage, but David needs to stay alive while Nexus take up Cat.
Oh, Zek. Zek moved into Upper Dark, got spotted. Seraphic tried to lurk upon him, but couldn't find it. Drone and Insta take down the Nexus players as they're worried about Lower Dark. Gola with one under drone, but David goes down to Steno. Gola last up. And this is looking bleak. Start, rest in peace. Don't run around corners with your knife, bud. Gola looking to continue the reign of terror, but will be dropped by Steno. So taking the lead here is Tectonic, and we will see a tactical pause from the Nexus side.
And they're going to take it on a round where they can't buy either. And I mean, that didn't look too good from David. I don't know if you caught that full battle.
No.
It was, yeah, I don't want to back on too much. But, yeah, we'll see the adjustment.
You said too much.
Gone too far, but all I gotta say is my money is looking safe.
It's looking good. And again, if you're just joining us, Laser did not bet on the match. We've had a couple people that are like, did he bet on... Did one of the casters bet? No, that's not the case. He has a bet with our producer, David, being the COO of RGN. He bet our producer that he would not surpass 25 frags in any of these maps. And it's actually a really big bet. Well, big in the form that our producer could make a lot of money and Laser makes $5 if he doesn't do it. So it's it's an interesting bet. But it looks like your money is safe, Laser.
I am a betting man. Out of 100 times we run this match, maybe he gets over 25. Anyways, back to the match here. This Nexus gotta try to get a plant down somehow. They don't need it, but it would be helpful. And Steno has crept his way up mid. He's gonna turn around, find even more coming out of lower, and no plant, not a chance. And Seraphic is just sitting here with his pretty pistol.
Right? Just waiting around, hoping that he can find some sort of gun, potentially, to bring into the next round. But there's a minute 20, and well, Steno takes him down inside the doors, and a flawless one for Tectonic is going to allow them to put all the utility possible on the field here.
All right. Odaris with the AWP. What's the call out of Nexus? This is the round where we should see the effect of the pause. Odaris tries to go for the pick through the door as the HE explodes to cover the cross. Pushing up the catwalk. Tectonic, what a play, and that's a critical frag onto Odaris, but sticking around. Ooh, this is dangerous.
Oh no, and Steno, the way he was positioned there, his heel was showing, so they expected a player on the stairs. Probably didn't expect two, but took them both down, and this is looking very, very bleak, as that opener was fantastic, giving Odaris like a taste of his own medicine a little bit there. Zek, but Seraphic onto Imstunts, Red Start and Drone, 2 on 4. They've got plenty of money, so we'll see what they can do here.
Nobody at long. This is pretty good for Drone. He doesn't have to worry about that at all. Gonna mull
nice
it off the player out. Aladdin still hits the shot on a Drone. Aladdin this round has came alive when they need him most. And a red start onto Seraphic. Any guns that they lose, this is really big. Nexus cannot afford to lose these weapons. So let's take a look at the economy. If Tectonic win this next round, that's it.
Red Star was actually fairly close in that situation, to be fair. Golo was in CT spawn. It was a plan for Cat, so he can go for that jump peek and such, but there was some smoke, at least, on Red Star for him to know that there's the player below, though, of course, would have been cheating. But
and just to highlight what got them in trouble on Catwalk as well, if you're going to stick around like that, you need to either have both players guns out ready to peek.
Oh, Zach.
That's huge. Tectonic looking to put it away right here as Red Start. Oh man, I thought they were going to try to rush him down at the B bomb site, but instead Red Start going to get it down, going to get that smoke down safely. But just to finish my point, both players need to peek, or you need to be flashing, or you need to be running. They kind of got mixed up.
I don't know if Red Star recognized, at least at first, that his smoke, they say they fixed this. Valve, you didn't fix this. There's a smoke in B tunnels right now that's just dissipating. You can see underneath it because it landed on a Molotov, essentially. And just bizarre stuff. Honestly, it makes for a pretty cool smoke. You can just see feet and make that work, but it's difficult to replicate. And, well, here we go. Mid to B strat. Gonna be Red Start going down first and foremost. They do have Zek attempting to jump up inside a CT spawn. He does land one. Sorry, Odaris is still very near to him. David needs to win this fight onto Imsta. He can't do it, and Odaris falls. That's 15.
15, and that was as close as can get. Yeah, Tectonic survived with 2, but if David wins his fight, and Zek, man, Nexus almost had that. Now back on the cage. I gotta stop saying ropes because I'm a UFC, not a boxing fan.
Right.
See what their plan is here for the final one, and I guess it's just gonna be a rush long. Drone, here he comes.
Here we go. He's going to whiff a little bit here. Definitely wanted more than that. Steno gonna try and actually continue to take a fight. Spots Odaris move into the pit. He wants to take down Gola, and he does do so. 4 and 3, Seraphic on 3 hit points as they reroute out along.
Trying to take up the catwalk area. 2 CTs are so low. Imsta receives a shot to the face, but not enough to bring him down. Just 3 HP. They have 2 ops here. Good luck trying to get across this area. Seraphic just posted up, trying to wait for the op to peek him. I'm not sure that's the best idea. And now Odaris. This guy has been deadly, and this would be the time, but he flashes himself, and that'll be that. 16 to 13. Not a bad showing at all from Nexus.
In his defense, he dropped a decoy, and they did flash him. So I just want to throw that out there. He didn't flash himself just because that would have been really brutal. It's true. I would never lie to you. It was a fake decoy flash. But nonetheless, 16 rounds for Tectonic, and they will be able to close this out 2-0. Holy map number 1. That was a very long first map, but eventually they closed it out in their map choice, and following it up here. Still a close map, to be fair, but Tectonic will reign supreme. So moving forward, in the Winter Classic 2, Nexus dropping down to the lower bracket, the Gauntlet, the best of 1 territory. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'm a little exhausted, not going to lie. That was a lot of Counter-Strike, but it was pretty darn entertaining, not going to lie, as, yeah. 2 really good maps. We had a decent best of 3 previous to it, European stuff as well, and we got plenty more tomorrow. So if you guys want to tune in, I think our first match is at 1 p.m. EST. It's going to be HD4R. I still don't know what that team name stands for. I apologize, but they're going to be facing off against Publiclear, popular European lineup. Again, best of 3. Coming up after that, we got Winter Fox versus VVV in our North American region. That's at 10 p.m. EST, best of 3 as well, of course. So I hope you guys can join in on that fun, but for now, we are done and over. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time.